Remember when Steve Bannon was arrested on the yacht of a Chinese billionaire? And people wondered, what was Bannon doing on this yacht when he supposedly was always bashing the Chinese government? Well, we have a better understanding of why. And the Chinese billionaire is on trial in a federal court facing hundreds of years of prison time. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, state attorney for Palm Beach County, aka the Florida lawman here on the MeidasTouch network. Let's talk about Guo Wengui. He is a Chinese mogul turned MAGA influencer who is on trial in Manhattan federal court for various financial fraud. Now, he was involved in an attempt to supposedly overthrow the Chinese government, to replace the communists with a pro-democracy style government with Steve Bannon at his side. Or in other words, a financial grift, allegedly to line the pockets of Steve Bannon and Guo Wengui to divert money that was supposed to go to fight for democracy and instead allowed them to live lavish lifestyles. But we've seen this before with Steve Bannon. He was arrested for the We Build the Wall charity scam. He and other co-defendants were charged with federal crimes, and the former president, on his last day of office, Donald Trump, pardoned Bannon while he let the other co-defendants deal with the criminal charges. They all took pleas except for one who went to trial. He was found guilty. The others who took the plea were sent to prison. So everyone involved in the We Build the Wall charity scam went to prison except for Steve Bannon, who was pardoned. But he is going to face a state trial for the same thing in Manhattan, supposedly in September. He'll have to get out of prison temporarily for that, apparently, because that's where he is right now. So Steve Bannon is not out of the woods. And his partner here, Guo Wengui, is currently facing a major prosecution that's been going on for a while and will continue. And the charges involve Guo Wangui ripping off his supporters, similar to what Steve Bannon did to his MAGA supporters, where you take people's money who believe in you and you divert it to your own pockets, and then those people continue to support you, at least in the case of Steve Bannon. But in the case of Guo Wengui, his supporters are up in arms because their money was stolen. Some of them are testifying against him. But the best witnesses against Wengui in his trial come not from his former supporters who have given him money, the victims, but from his own employees. First, let's talk about the supporters, the victims. According to Mother Jones, the alleged victims of this scheme are Chinese-speaking emigres who were drawn to Guo beginning in 2017 due to his claim to be a leading critic of the Chinese Communist Party. These supporters joined online clubs that were part of what Guo called his whistleblower movement. In 2020, many began pouring money into investment opportunities he offered. Guo allegedly diverted those funds to pay for the lifestyle of a supposed billionaire, buying a mansion, a $4.4 million car, $978,000 in rugs, a yacht, and $36,000 mattresses he slept on while his fans lost their shirts. Miles Guo stole my money, Jenny Lee, a Nevada resident who emigrated from China about 20 years ago, testified through an interpreter. Mind you, Miles Guo is an alias, is another name for Guo Wengui. I was cheated, she said later. Lee said she first learned of Guo after Voice of America cut off a live interview he did with that news outlet in April 2017, allegedly in response to Chinese government complaints about claims Guo made during the broadcast about CCP corruption. When Guo and former Trump aide Steve Bannon announced the launch of a nonprofit that would supposedly advance the rule of law in China with $100 million, Guo pledged to donate himself but never did. Lee contributed about $6,000, she said. Like many Guo fans, she made a habit of watching almost all the hours-long videos that Guo posted online most days. In April 2020, Guo told his fans that he was giving them the chance to invest in a video streaming and news company called GTV. He said the company would develop technology to evade Beijing censors, giving an outside perspective to millions of Chinese viewers. He also claimed that investors were guaranteed not to lose money. These, prosecutors say, were lies, but many Guo fans believed him. Lee testified she invested more than $100,000 through various mechanisms Guo created to allow his backers to supposedly buy into GTV. She said that she raised the money by getting a second mortgage. Sound familiar? The people who donated to Stop the Steal using the last $50 from their Social Security disability check, or people who gave to Steve Bannon's We Build the Wall and then saw how Donald Trump then pardoned Bannon after he ripped off Trump supporters. This all rings so similar, but it is now Guo Wengui who is on trial. And although he is saying in his defense that he was motivated by being anti-communist and being pro-democracy, and the Chinese government hates him, and the Chinese government wants this prosecution to happen, even though he's not allowed to say that the federal prosecutors are in cahoots with the Chinese government. The judge said, no, you can't do that. But the defense is now saying, well, this is the Chinese government who really are the ones who want Guo Wengui imprisoned. But see, here's the thing. Factually, it shouldn't matter, because either he ripped people off or he didn't. The fact that he may be anti-communist, or at least claims to be, although some claim he's a double agent, it means nothing when it comes to the facts and the law. The facts are he represented that he was going to ensure the investments of his supporters, and he lied, allegedly. And he was in business with Steve Bannon, and instead of the money going to where it allegedly was supposed to go, it was diverted to his own pocket. So it shouldn't matter that he supposedly believes in democracy. I think what the defense lawyers are trying to do is to have jury nullification. I think they see that they have a weak defense here. And so they're trying to get at least one juror out of 12 to believe that, well, he's a patriot, so I can't send him to jail, so let's hold out. Let's find him not guilty. And all it takes is one, and you've got a hung jury. So we'll see where this goes from here. But as I said earlier, the most devastating witnesses for the federal government against Wengui are his own employees. As Courthouse News said, Guo was up against damning testimony from not just his disgruntled investors, but from several former employees as well. One ex-aide, Ya Li, was part of Guo's Iron Blood Group, the name he gave his closest inner circle. Now cooperated for the government, Li testified last month that Guo's whole movement is a scam. And if you're wondering if Steve Bannon has made an appearance in the trial, well, not personally, he's behind bars, but Steve Bannon himself, yes, is part of the prosecution's case. According to Mother Jones, prosecutors in the federal trial of fugitive Chinese mogul Guo Wengui introduced a video that, they said, marked the moment Guo began executing a massive fraud against backers of his anti-communist political movement. But the first image that appeared on courtroom screens wasn't actually Guo. It was his better-known ally and former well-paid advisor, Steve Bannon, wearing glasses and a few black shirts. That's his style. I don't think prison allows him to do that, though. And when the video rolled, the courtroom heard Bannon announce at a November 2018 news conference that Guo had committed to establish a $100 million fund immediately to support democracy and the rule of law in China. On Thursday, prosecutors played another video of a meeting that they alleged led to Guo in 2020 misappropriating $100 million from investors in his video streaming company, GTV. But again, the first image jurors saw was Bannon, who brokered and attended a Dallas meeting where Guo was interviewed by Kyle Bass, who heads a hedge fund to which Guo later sent the money. Bass, who is not accused of wrongdoing, declined to comment. Prosecutors have called Bannon a co-conspirator in an alleged racketeering conspiracy led by Guo, but Bannon so far hasn't been charged in the case, at least not yet. It's yet more potential criminal liability for Bannon. He already faced federal charges, but he got pardoned. He's now facing state charges that'll lead to a trial in September in Manhattan. And he's currently a resident of the federal government for 4 months. Yes, wearing an orange jumpsuit, probably not with those multiple shirts. And next could be this, or maybe not. But either way, he is a prominent figure in this trial. And so 2024 continues to be the year of accountability. Yes, even MAGA leaders you may not know, they're facing their day of reckoning. So that's the latest. I'm Dave Aronberg, aka the Florida Lawman, here on the MeidasTouch Network. If you like this video, please like it, and also check out our sister site, True Crime MTN, where we discuss matters like the Guo Wengui trial and the Alec Baldwin case and others. So check it out, and I'll see you next time.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.